Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. So this is a crazy milestone. So I just want to say that when I first started out making these videos, I never thought that we would hit numbers anywhere like this. And today I'm sat here recording on the 25th of September, so the day before this video is released, recording my 100th video. And honestly, I cannot thank you guys enough for all of the support you've shown and for everything you've done for me. Honestly, it's genuinely made my summer, and I'm glad that I've been able to give something back to you guys, whether that be just by watching my videos or just even one thing that you've learned. And thank you as always for letting me know about how everything has gone on as well. And I especially am keeping you guys in mind who've got your exams today. The day that it's recording is the day that will be released is the 26th, tomorrow in terms of the dates that I'm recording this, which is the 25th. And I thought that this is kind of a full circle moment, because I started my channel with a syllogisms video about how I detailed the arrow method. And so I thought, here, as you can see here on my Medify page, I've only got 8 syllogisms left. So I thought perhaps we could just do these final sets of syllogisms. We'll do them as 2 sets of 4, and we'll take it from there, right? And we'll see how it goes. But thank you so much for all of for everything over these last couple of weeks, almost 2 months now, I guess. And I hope that the channel has been of some help to you. Yeah, please do comment down below, anything else you'd like to see in the future maybe, and what you'd like to see next. Okay, so let's get straight into this then. Oh, okay, so take a screenshot. So all pimples are growths. Okay, so let's give it a sec. All pimples are growths which are either common or squaborous. All squaborous growths are gruds. Only gruds which are larger than 1 cm are eligible for treatment. So only larger than 1 cm squared. All gruds are also inflamed. Okay, so let's have a look at the other info that we've got here. So all pimples that are not common are inflamed. Yes, because all pimples that are not common are squaborous and they are gruds, and all gruds are inflamed. If a pimple is not common and is eligible for treatment, it must be larger than 1 cm. Yes. If a pimple is inflamed, it must be a grud, not necessarily. If a pimple is not squaborous, it must not be a grud. Well, well, I'm going to say no here, because I think you could be something that's not squaborous and still be a grud. How do you know that common things can't be gruds either, if that makes sense? So I'm going to say no here. Lastly, if a squaborous growth is larger than 1 cm, it must be eligible. Not necessarily, like only those are eligible, but that's not the only criteria. There could be other criteria involved as well. So that's what I'm going to put. So yes, no. Okay, so weffers, few of them are ixioms, so fewer of few. So most weffers that are not ixioms, most of these are zubus. Most ixioms are not zubus. So I guess instead of doing it that way, I'm just going to put few are zubus. Therefore, all of the ixioms are yapaos. So no ixiom is a zubu. That's wrong, because only a few of them are. Some weffers are yapaos. Yes. Some yapaos are not zubus. Some yapaos are not zubus. Yes. Because only a few ixioms are zubus. So you're going to have some ixioms that are yapaos but not zubus. More weffers are zubus than ixioms. I don't think there's enough information to say this, because few here could mean 49. That means most of them are not ixioms. But if most of that, so it's like 0.51 times 0.51 could be less than 0.49, if that makes sense. If a weffer is not an ixiom, it is not a yapao. Once again, I'm going to say not necessarily, because you could not be because you could find some way to be a yapao, basically. So I'm going to say no, yes, no. Okay, I don't know why this is in here, but we'll still do it. So academics have recently divided all the books written by the Greek philosopher Aristophanes into 3 groups. the books he wrote before the year 426 BC, the books he wrote from 426 to 415, and the books he wrote after 415 BC. So the book on nature, written by Aristophanes, has been lost. So he must have written the book before the year. Okay. Nowadays, academics preserve all the books Aristophanes wrote from 426 to 415, and some of the books he wrote after 415. All the books he wrote before year 426 have been lost. All books written by Aristophanes are known to today's academics. Well, it says some of the books he wrote after 415. So all the ones before 426, and sometimes it's a bit trippy to think about, but this is 426, this is 415 on like a map, on like a timeline. So all of these ones are definitely lost. All the ones here are preserved in this gap, and it says they've also preserved some of the books he wrote after 415, so some of these are preserved. So if this one's been lost, he must have written it before thingy. No, because he could have written it after. If he wrote a book in 429, academics definitely know about it. Yes, because all books written by him are known. Some books written by Aristophanes may not have been included in any of the three groups in which his books have been divided. No, because that kind of covers everything, and all the books written are known to today's academics. Wrote at least 7 books. The books he wrote before the year 426, it could be 6. I'm going to say no here because he could have written 2 here, 2 here, and 2 here, so it could be 6. We do not know whether academics preserve more books written by Aristophanes from 426 to 415 than books written by him after 415. That's true. Yeah, we don't know that because it says, yeah, they preserved all the books here, but we don't know the exact number. There could only have been 3 books that were written here, whereas there could have been 1,000 books written in this point, but they only managed to preserve 500 of them. So I'll say yes, no, yes, yes, no, like this. So most bioethicists at the conference were women. So you got conference, you got bioethicists. Most of these were women. No men at the conference were psychologists. So you got men. Out of them, none of them were psychologists. Few transplant coordinators, so you got transplant coordinators. Few of them were psychologists. So some transplant coordinators at the conference, were not psychologists. Yes, because only few of them were. No male bioethicists. Most of them were women, were transplant coordinators. No, because you can be a transplant coordinator and just not be a psychologist, right? It's just that men can't be psychologists. Any bioethicists at the conference who were psychologists were women? Yes, because no men were. All the men at the conference were either bioethicists or transplant coordinators. Well, can't you be both? Or neither? Can't you be a third thing like, and I'm going to make up a job like delivery driver? Or like, you don't know that, right? So I'm going to say no. Not all transplant coordinators at the conference were men. That's going to be true because only few of them was... Actually, it's a tricky one because... not all of them were men. It could be that none of them were men, right? Yeah, I'm going to say it's no, because that implies at least one was a man. But it could be that none of them are men. So that's what I put. I wonder if Medify will agree with me here. Okay, let's have a look at this. Okay, so more wefers are zubus than axioms. The fourth statement follows because most wefers that are not axioms, only a few. I would disagree with this one because you've got most wefers that are not axioms. Not axioms was most because only few of them were axioms, right? So you're doing most of most, which is fine if the number is like 0.99 times 0.99. But if it's like 0.51 times 0.51, then you get a number like 0.26. And remember, few just means less than 50, which could be like 0.28, for example. So I don't know. I disagree with this. I think this is wrong. And yeah. Okay, I thought they might disagree with me. I would disagree with the last one as well, because it could be that all of them were, because by saying not all, you're saying 1 to 99, so not all are men, so you're saying 1 to 99 are men, but it could be that there are no men. It could happen. It could just be that it's all women, for example. So I would disagree with this one. Okay, cool, let's keep going. So finishing off this set. All right. So this one seems a bit tricky. Let's come back to this actually. Let's have a look at this. So you got lions. You got those that are male. All of them have manes. Most big cats most cannot be kept at home. Oh, so only a few can be kept at home. Few can be kept at home. So some big cats are lions. So some are lions. Tigers are apex predators, top of food chain. Tigers, like most big cats. Okay, so at least some male lions have manes. Yes. At least some means at least 2 to 99. Yeah, that's true. If it said some male lions have manes, that'd be wrong because all of them do. Some big cats cannot be kept at home. Yes, because only a few can be. Big cats without manes cannot be lions. No, because we only talked about male lions. They could be female lions, for example. All big cats are apex predators. Not necessarily, because it says most of them, like most big cats. Some animals with manes are not lions. Well, we don't know that. It could be that only lions have manes. So I would say yes, yes, no, no, no. Yes, yes, no, no, no. Okay, let's keep going. None of the flathead screws are new. So flathead screws, none of them are new. All the screws that need a Y-type screwdriver are flatheads. Some of the screws that need a Y-type are 70 mm long. If a screw needs a Y-type, it must not be a flathead. No. None of the new screws are flatheads. Yes, because this kind of goes both ways. None of the screws that need a Y-type screwdriver are new. Yes, because all of them flatheads, none of the flatheads are new. Some of the screws that are 70 millimeters long are flatheads. Well, it could be that only all of them. It could be all of them are flatheads, actually. So I'm going to say that's wrong. If a screw is new, it must not be 70 millimeters long. Not necessarily. Yeah, I don't think there's enough information to be able to conclude that. Okay, so classic questions. All of Beatrice's plants are spiky. Some are green. All of Thorsten's plants are red. Sorry, none of Thorsten's plants are red, but some grow berries. Okay, so none of them are red, but some of them grow berries. Okay, if a plant has berries, it must not be spiky. Okay, so a yellow spiky plant could be, so yellow spiky plant, yeah, because all of Beatrice is spiky, so it could be. So Thorsten's, none of his are red, but some grow berries. Yeah, because this is true. It could be either of them, because it could be Thorsten's and it just be a non-spiky one. If a plant belongs to Beatrice, it must be a green plant with spikes. No, because only some of them are green. If a plant is red and grows berries, it's neither Thorsten's nor Beatrice's. If it's red, it's not Thorsten's. But if it grows berries, it must not be spiky. Yeah, actually, yeah, this is true. Because if it grows berries, it's not spiky, and all of Beatrice's is spiky. There are no plants that are red. No, we don't know that. If there is a plant that grows berries, it must belong to Thorsten or a third person. Yes. Okay, so just fairly simple. Yes, no, yes, no, yes, down the line. Okay, and so the last question, let's have a look at this one. So no fashion trend is none is universally adopted, but some fashion trends return cyclically. Trends featured in films, universally adopted. Trends that return cyclically are featured in magazines. So some trends that return cyclically are not fashion trends. No, because it could be that it's only fashion. It could be that only fashion trends return cyclically. Fashion trends featured in magazines are not universally adopted. There's not enough information there. If it's not featured in films, it's not universally adopted. Not necessarily. Because trends featured in films are universally adopted, but you could be featured somewhere else and still be. It's not like, it doesn't say only, for example. If it said only here, then that would be right, but not here. So some fashion trends are featured in magazines, yes. If a trend is not universally adopted, it is not featured in films, yes, this is true. Okay, so 3 no's and 2 yeses. Okay, let's have a look at this one. All right, let's see if I disagree anywhere here. So fashion trends featured in magazines are not universally adopted. No fashion trend is universally adopted since trends that... Oh, fine, okay. Yeah, okay, I see that. I think here, I think they can make it a bit better, though. They can make it that fashion trends that return cyclically are featured in magazines. They could write it a little bit better. This one, some of the screws that are 70 mm long are flatheads. Well, my only understanding of this is it could have been all of them. It could be that all of them are 70mm, because it says some of the screws that need a Y type are 70mm long. Oh, actually, so therefore, yeah, no, I agree with my own logic, but sometimes, like I said, Medify isn't perfect. So I'll concede that first. I think I got the first one wrong. That's fair enough. But yeah, I think this one I would keep with my answer for. Okay, amazing. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. I mean, the majority of you probably won't even watch this, and I'm sorry for the trauma that it might bring in terms of another tough Ucat season. But thank you as always, and I hope you guys have had a good start back to your schools. I hope sixth form is going well. And remember to keep up the grind, keep up the hard work. And unfortunately, year 13 is a bit of a slog, but everyone makes their way through it, and good things happen at the end. So, as always, work hard, keep at it, and love and guidance. I'll see you guys in the next video.